Welcome to the AT3 Tactical Podcast. My name's Josh. I'll be your host today, and I'll be joined by my secondary and tertiary hosts, CJ and Charlie. Charlie, of course, being our washed-up competitive shooter and the marketing director here at the company, and CJ being Nick, the new guy in the industry and our junior host. And yeah, so
I'm just happy I'm not the tertiary host.
the
apparently.
tertiary.
Yeah, that's news to me, apparently.
You're the coordinary.
You're the coordinator.
So what are we talking about today, boys?
And today I want to talk about budgeting and building a rifle. So CJ and I have this build competition series going on, and we have a very budget-friendly gun at $800. We have kind of a higher-end one that's at about $3,000 if you don't include the Cerakote that he cheated with. And then we have a very high-end gun that's about $6,000, ready for like shooting pigs in the middle of the night.
And that was an off-the-shelf gun, right?
Most of it was off the shelf. So
Core components.
yeah, we're talking about budgeting for firearms, and I want to get the conversation going, Charlie, by asking you, how much does the average customer spend when they're doing a complete build? When you see that,
With optic or without?
with the optic, the complete rifle build.
So optic's obviously going to change that number quite a bit. General rule of thumb is you want to spend as much on your optic as you do the gun, which
Do you think most people are doing that?
I think when you could pick up like a good quality like REM 700 or like a good quality AR-15 for $800,000. I think my REM 700 was like $750 when I got it over 10 years ago. I think that was much more realistic.
Okay.
Now I think there's much better quality glass out there at a much lower price.
There's also much higher quality rifles
Firearms
out there for a much lower price.
There are, but I don't think we've seen the price drop like we have with optics.
Okay.
Because there's always been guns out there, quality guns, where optics, there's only a handful of manufacturers 10, 15 years ago that were quality. Now, I mean, especially with the red dot world, like there's a lot more out there.
Oh yeah, way more.
They might be China dots, but it doesn't mean that they're bad. But I mean, average customer of ours, they're spending anywhere from about $600 up to about $1,500 if you're including optics with it. I mean, either add $100 up to $1,000 to that number. I think about the $1,500 range is pretty close to what people realistically spend after all accessories included. Magazines, slings, optics, yeah, I mean, pretty little pick rail, lights, kind of all the accoutrement that goes with it.
The what?
Accoutrement.
Never heard that word.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, you got to get cultured.
This is like your rabbit fart thing. I think you're just making words up.
CJ, did I make up the word
I've
accoutrement?
heard accoutrement.
It's
that's
like
French
all
for what other
it's
other things.
all the
accessories?
things.
French, that's the problem.
It's all the things.
Yeah.
It's like if you're making a Thanksgiving dinner, you got the turkey and the accoutrement to go with it.
I think they're making words up.
No, it's for real. It's for real.
But yeah, I mean, all in all, you can get away. I know we've priced out some pretty cheap builds here that you can get away sub $500.
I mean, we've done some cheap builds on the channel.
Yeah.
You can get in there for not a lot of money.
Yep.
You get a lot of value for not a lot of money. In today's
Yep.
market.
Now, building versus buying, usually you can find a better deal if you buy a complete gun.
Why do you think that is?
Well, it's kind of bulk.
Okay.
Radical, for instance, they're buying how many charging handles, how many handguards, how many uppers, how many lowers, how many barrels. They are getting good deals.
Sure.
You as the individual, if you want to buy 1,000 barrels, I can get you a really good deal, or I can sell it to you for retail price.
Yeah.
Same with PSA. Well, in PSA's case, it's even more like they didn't just do a bulk order; they bought the manufacturer. They're like, "Hey, we like your guns. We're gonna buy your company."
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and we're going to see more of that with PSA, I'm sure, over the next few years as I'm just buying up their vertical. But yeah, I think ultimately it just comes down to if Radical or Smith & Wesson's making 1,000 of a SKU, they now need to go buy 1,000 barrels, so now their cost goes down. But then also then they can price them in to like what retail is, still make it a better value, because if the value to build your own gun was way up here versus buying way down here, you would never buy a gun.
Right.
You would always build. Compared to flip that, you're spend a ton on parts. You have to build it yourself. There's no warranty. Well, you should go buy a gun. So I think right now we're sitting right about here.
Sure.
That,
Is there ever a world? I mean, is there ever a world for both of you guys? Is there ever a world where you can build a gun for much cheaper than you can buy them for, if you like are pricing out parts and are really finding deals, looking at discounts, that kind of thing?
I think yes, a lot of the time. You're just going to have to be really paying attention to what the prices are while you're shopping, and you're going to have to be super diligent about deal hunting and finding things at the right place in the right time. And for a lot of guys, that means I'm just going to wait till Black Friday. Everything goes on sale on Black Friday. Well,
a lot of things.
A lot of things go on sale on Black Friday, but you can find things on sale year round. And certain things you're going to find on sale better at other parts of the year.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing too that you always have to take into account is, say you buy M&P 15 and you want to swap out the trigger and you want to add, you want to swap out the grip, the butt stock.
Yeah, we did a whole video on that. Yeah.
Maybe you want to swap out the buffer. Now at that point you spent X on the gun. Now you got to go spend Y on all these accessories. Where if you just would have built it up from the start, like yes, the gun was cheaper to buy that, but once you had all the accessories in, you spent more than if you would have bought everything one time.
Okay.
It's kind of the buy once, cry once philosophy of it.
Sure.
So,
do you think most people are buying a gun, and like, again, for either of you guys, do you think most people are buying guns and then not changing them at all, or are they doing things like what we like to do, which is buy a gun and then make it for us, add the foregrip they like, add the the grips they like, or add the slings or whatever, or the trigger? Like, what do you guys think most people are doing in your experience?
I'm going to defer to Josh on this because I know the answer.
I'm actually going to have to just defer to Charlie. He's the marketing director.
So,
he literally sees the numbers. I could take an educated guess and tell you that I prefer, personally, to buy an off-the-shelf gun and then put the few components that I want in it.
And that even is not normal.
Okay.
The average gun owner is not modifying their gun at all.
Got it.
They might be, like if it's a rifle, they're probably adding a scope to it or some type of optic.
Is that modifying though? That's just putting an optic
Bingo.
on it. Yeah.
I think that's just finishing it off.
Yeah.
Same thing with a handgun. If it's red dot, you throw a red dot on it. I wouldn't call that modifying. But vast majority of guns sold are not modified after they're bought.
Would you say that's true for AR-15s as well?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. And you think about how many people have M&P 15s in their safe at home. It's the way they bought them. It's just, we're kind of the minority here in that we want to modify our stuff. Now, anytime you modify a firearm, you bring in liabilities on your own. But if it's a range toy, competition thing, by all means, like make it fun, make it go fast.
I do have to say it's kind of a geographic thing too. I noticed when I was living in Texas that the people there are far more likely to have some kind of aftermarket modification that they've made to the firearm, even if it's something small like, oh, I put a tack latch on my mil-spec charging handle, which is a super simple thing to do, right? Just putting a little, it's on there. But when I was in Texas, I rarely saw a gun that didn't have at least something small on it, being like a bad lever or a tack latch, or maybe they got a aftermarket ambi.
I put bad levers on stuff just to start conversations.
I used to use the bad lever often on the issued rifle. It was just a nice little pick me up because we couldn't really do too much to our stuff. So you could get away with the bad lever and a tack latch, and it made stuff a little bit easier.
The nice thing about the bad levers, like, yeah, they got a little play in them, but at the same time, I think it's just a single Allen screw, and it comes off. You aren't modifying anything; you're just adding.
Yeah.
It's a little slip over and put that one little screw in. It's done.
But easier than like a Phase 5 or something like that.
Oh yeah, hands
swap
down.
out the whole thing.
Yeah, it's swapping out your bolt catch.
What I like is how the bad lever concept has kind of been changed out to where now you're seeing bolt releases on the firing side of the weapon, so you can just reach up.
More ambi-friendly stuff.
There's no need to manipulate something in the trigger guard. I'd like to see those on a lot more rifles, personally.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't those Aero Precision lowers, the enhanced lowers, I think they have ambi mag catch. I think I might be wrong about that.
well,
but one
mag
of them-
catch, yes. Bolt catch, I'm not 100% sure. I think UTG's Pro lowers have bolt catches on both sides. A lot of people are going to ambi.
Yeah.
I know there's a couple that you can retrofit to your lower, but it does require cutting into the lower. So
Do we know why more things are ambi? I don't like. There's not more left-handed shooters, are there?
Well,
Is it
it's
just 'cause
it's just
cool?
as no, it's not just that it's cool. So you got like the school of thought that it's always changing. You see it a lot in the competition space. Is just as the skill ceiling increases, the equipment increases with it, because as the shooters get better, they need additional things that aren't on the weapon, and it usually almost always starts with one guy who hand modifies something very poorly and it works well, and then a company's like, that's a good idea. We're going to make that stock on the weapon. So if you look at the M16 from Vietnam and you compare it to the issued M16 today, almost all of that is just little incremental steps up that have happened over the last 50 years.
well, and the other thing too, from a manufacturer business standpoint, is less SKUs equals better usually.
Oh, yeah.
More manageable. So now you like Gen 3, Gen 4 Glocks. I believe you could flip the slide release to the either side. I believe I might be wrong on that. But now you just get a horseshoe that's a slide release that puts it on both sides. So it's now customers can't complain that you don't offer it, and then you're solving their problems. But also, we're going to get a little mythical here, and I'm sure it's happened to a few people that you're in a fight, right arm doesn't work anymore. Now you need to go to left. You need to go to weak hand. So now you wish that some controls were there. But also, like, let's say your weak hand gets hit, maybe sometimes it might be easier to dump your bolt by hitting something on the right side versus the left side.
Sure, yeah.
So, I mean, it's kind of one of those, just as long as they aren't in the way, more options, more better usually.
That's the exact school of thought that spawns that kind of stuff. It's not just that. Like, there's a whole train of thought when you get into the martial art of close quarters battle. It's like a whole school of thought of wall body weapons. So if I'm moving down the right side of a hallway, I should put the gun in my left shoulder because then it's wall body weapon, and it's because I have a better angle to engage with when I turn around a corner. So there's little things like that, and as those things evolve, people develop things that they need, and
well, and it gives you a different option where the only way to drop a bolt was by smacking it with your left hand.
Yeah.
Now, if I can smack it with my right hand too, that brings a whole other option how to solve a problem.
Yeah. Do you think that can be to someone's detriment at a certain point?
Oh,
where
yeah.
It's like, my manual of arms, I'm not just training for one thing now. Now I have to train for multiple things.
Yes. Pretty much anything that you add that's not absolutely required could cause problems. It's kind of like you look at cars today, how many computers are in them.
let's not talk about cars.
No, let's. Sorry.
Someone just traded in his
subject.
new car.
But essentially, the more features you add, the more options for something to go wrong.
Yeah.
Especially if it's not tried, true, trusted. Okay. Like, when's the last time you heard of a bolt catch breaking?
Like a standard mil-spec
It
bolt
happens,
catch.
but it's not common at all.
I've heard them cracking because people are dropping the trigger without holding
that can
the
happen.
hammer. Yeah.
Yep, that can happen. But I think I've heard of 2 times where the gun was functioning and it broke.
It's always something else that breaks.
Yep. And so now you're adding in a new part that could break, could lock up your gun, compared to a single point of failure. Now you have 2. So I think ultimately it's like, do you really need it? I guess to me it's kind of like last round bolt hold open on PCCs.
Yeah.
Like, in perfect world, you are never going to bolt lock. Like, you never ever are. So why do you need
Either
it?
in competition or
Perfect world.
Real life.
You got 1 bullet left in the snout, new mag. But this world ain't perfect. So it's going to happen that you run out. Now the question is, do you want to pull the charging handle or do you want to smack the bolt release?
Right.
It's up to you.
Even clear mags. Everyone thought we'll change to clear magazines. That'll solve. It's like, well, the top half of the magazine's still in the weapon. So
Well, and
we're guessing for a little bit.
I hate to say it, I'm not looking at the magazine.
No, never.
Like,
How many rounds do I have?
I got more. I mean, for me, I have more of a feel when that bolt does not go back forward,
Yeah.
compared to the mag just being empty or the weight of it. You feel the gun recoil back, but it doesn't come back home. So, I mean, that's probably to me like the biggest reason to have last round bolt hold open is you can just get that feeling from
That's
it.
one of the big problems I have with the Glock is because just the way that my hands are shaped and the bad habits I've developed from shooting handguns.
You
over
ride
the
that
years.
slide.
So every time I never get a slide lock, it always goes back forward. So I always end up pulling the trigger on an empty gun, and I'm like, shit.
Yep.
And then I go through, the whole process of reloading and getting the gun back up. But it's because of a bad habit that I've just ingrained into.
So do you
DNA
tap
when I'm
rack
shooting.
bang then?
No, I'll just. I've got it down now to where it's pretty much like I know what that feels like when it's done. That
Felt like 17 rounds. We'll reload.
Right. Well, 21. I got the big
extensions.
tyrant, big tyrant extensions. I love those things, but yeah. So I know when I'm doing a build, these are the things that I think about personally. Is I kind of like, okay, what am I building this for? Like the Daniel Defense that's in the video that we have coming up. When I built that gun, I built that gun because I needed it suppressed. I needed to shoot with night vision, and I needed it to be able to. I really only needed to be able to shoot 100 yards, and I needed something that I could pull around on the back of a quad all night while we're chasing down pigs. We were shooting, the farthest I was shooting, that thing was 50 yards out of a blind. Most of the time, we were shooting them way closer than that, but. That's what I needed. So that's when I built that gun. That's what it was for. Like, okay, well, I need a laser so I can aim with my night vision. I need a suppressor just because I don't want to be super loud. And the ACOG is the one thing where it's like, I'm getting an ACOG just because I want one. I didn't need the ACOG. I just wanted one. So I went and got one of those, and that's the only part of that rifle I'm actually probably going to end up changing out. Probably just put an EOTech on it or something.
And that's a kind of a good point that, like, if you don't know what you're building, you're going to spend a lot of money quickly because you're going to go buy some and it doesn't fit the end use.
Right.
Now, you got an extra part because you used it, you throw it in the drawer, you're closer to the next build. I mean, that's kind of
I have a bad lever. I should probably do a whole new build.
I've built a few guns because I got a charging handle sitting in the drawer.
I have an extra castle nut.
I got an extra roll pin. Let's build a gun.
I do have an extra BCG laying at home, and I'm like, I should probably build a whole new upper.
See, that's a spare. That's not an extra.
I've had an Arrow. I've had an Arrow AR-10 lower receiver in my office for a year, and it's like that. I need to finish that. That lower is a gun.
That might be a collector's item pretty soon.
You think so?
Depending on the model. I mean, they've discontinued a lot of the AR-10 models, so depending on the model.
Who's built an AR-10?
You might have an Anderson on your hands.
I've been.
You know what you got.
I know what I got. No low balls. No, I'm waiting for the right video idea to pop into my head with that, and then we'll make a video with it since I already got the lower.
That'd be a good one.
We just, I think
do another AR-10 series.
got
people are into that. I don't know if people are into AR-10s as much as 15s. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, obviously they're not. But
I want to build an AR-10. I haven't done it yet. Usually for those bigger calibers, I've got more bolt action. But I want to do an AR-10. It just, I need a compatibility between the different platforms and stuff that really you got to do your research
the
for an
gas
AR-10 build.
blocks, the gas systems on them in general. If you're not using the right buffer, that's where you have a lot of issues with those, is between the buffer and the gas. So the last AR-10 I had, it just wouldn't run for anything, and it's because the gas block just wasn't properly aligned.
That, and there's just a couple of different platforms out there. I think it's like DPMS, Colt. Don't quote me on this. I haven't done a ton of research in AR-10s, but you got to look at like what pins you're using and the geometry of them and how everything's.
What I've been told is we have been very spoiled. We, like AR-15 nerds, have been spoiled by AR-15s and how much Lego there's going on with all the compatibility. It's like, it's super easy to do. I think cameraman Sam says that all the time. He's like, once you get out of the AR-15 platform, things get really crazy. Even AR-10s, which are basically the same thing, just bigger and older. But
I think that's why Glocks are so popular, is they are kind of like the AR-15 in the handgun world.
A Glock's a Glock unless it's a Gen 3 or a Gen 4 or a Gen 5. Then you got to buy the right parts because they aren't interchangeable.
Right.
But yes, the small frame Glock, large frame Glock, just as long as you're buying parts for the right generation.
The Glock 1
gonna
through
work.
75.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, AR is the biggest thing we've had. Is just what size of your trigger pins, pretty much. But yeah, I would say the AR market is very spoiled. But also, that's what makes it so proliferant. Is you can go buy brand A lower, brand Y upper, brand X barrel. You can get every part be a different brand, and more than likely the gun's going to run. Yeah. And it's probably going to run pretty well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It might run better than a gun that is all the same brand. Anyway.
Well, so one of the things you always have to take into account is gun manufacturers. They have to build a gun that functions at every temperature, every elevation. If you are building a gun for yourself, you need to focus on your climate. What elevation are you at? Like, you can tune it in much better for you.
Yeah.
Now you travel a lot with it. Yeah, you're going to want it to work wider gamut. But like if you adjust a gas block in the middle of the summer and you go to the middle of winter and you shoot the gun, it's probably not going to cycle.
Yeah.
If you're right on that edge.
Yeah.
And if you're in a massive temperature swing state.
Yep.
Yeah, like us.
If you're in Texas and it goes from 80 to 60, oh no.
Yeah, I mean, 20 degrees ain't going to cause too much, but I mean, you get those 100-degree swings that we get here in Minnesota. Yeah, I mean, pressure changes big time there.
Yeah.
In
Texas, we go from like 104 to 68. 68 is like the middle of winter and everyone's freezing. And then you'll get like a flash freeze for a couple of months where it's like literally 32 degrees exactly and there's ice on the road and the whole state has to shut down.
I don't think we've hit triple digits yet in Minnesota this summer.
Not this year. Yeah.
I think Canada's
It's been too smoky.
smoke storms have been covering the sun on us.
Fun.
Thanks, Canada.
We love it.
Can't blame Trudeau. I don't think he's there anymore.
I was about to blame Trudeau,
I heard
but he's
the T
gone.
on your tongue.
I know. It's like I used to blame him for all my issues that Canada had. Now I can't.
Mark Carney, he's the guy now.
Is that it?
Yeah, Mark Carney. He's
okay.
the Prime Minister, anyway. Yeah.
So no relation to Castro.
No, not anymore.
Okay,
Castro's grandson is
that we
out
know
of there.
of.
That we
Allegedly.
know
Allegedly.
of.
Allegedly.
Alleged grandson.
Allegedly.
But in Minnesota, we like in a summer, like we might touch 100 degrees, and we've been mid 90s this summer for sure. But middle of winter, and you'll be negative 20.
Yeah.
So
Easy.
what 110 degree swing. So it
matters.
It does. Like if you're adjusting your gas block on a really hot summer day, you might want to open that thing up a little more so when you get to the winter.
Or
it's
just
gonna
only
run.
shoot in indoor range.
That's no fun.
And it's not always an option.
I'm not recommending that. I'm just saying
Now,
you
if
could
you-
do that,
if
and then
you
you
do-
would get around those.
If you do go to an indoor range with your AR-15, make sure you put a really big compensator on that thing.
Very large.
That gets you
Many
a private
holes.
range.
Yeah, many holes in it on the front.
Yes.
Yeah.
More so out the sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, more holes facing this way.
Oh, yeah.
More better.
Yep.
More better.
That makes sure that you get a private range so everyone will leave.
People
So
love
the
you.
one thing I do want to ask is when you're building a firearm, how are you keeping track of a person? I know I'll say what I do. What I do is I go on the website where I'm getting the firearm and I build the cart first. I build the entire cart and then I put it all into a spreadsheet so that I have it later.
Yeah.
Because what I'll do is I'll have it at the top of the page. It'll just be tabs. And I'll look through the tab and see what I'm missing. And if I'm not missing anything, then I throw it into a spreadsheet and I've got it and then I'll just save it.
I remember my first AR build.
Yeah.
My first one, it was literally that. Like I had tabs and I had all the stores, price, the part number of what I was looking for. And this was back when like budget really mattered. Like my first AR, I think it took me 2-3 months to build because I had the finances to buy these parts today. A month goes by, I can buy some more parts. One of the nice things about ARs is you can do that.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy it all at once. Now, I guess the way I do it is I have a sheet of every single part, and I'll go through. Google Sheet just has every basic part listed. I'll go through. Okay, this is the part I want here. This is the part I want here. This is the part I want here. And you get things like trigger guard. A lot of times those are included in lower parts kits, or possibly with the lower. That like literally what I'll do in my sheet is I'll put a little note just to the left of it, included with lower, or included with LPK. And just so at the end of it, I should either have a SKU or a note on everything. And I always seem to forget one thing. So that's how I build them. But
and then you're halfway done with the gun, and you're like, you know what? We forgot a safety, or I forgot to get
or
a
this
muzzle device.
Well, the worst part is especially when it takes time, is something goes out of stock. And in this industry, it's common for things to go out for months at a time. So if you are reliant on your build using this very specific foreign barrel, like let's say a 6.5 inch 5.56 barrel, like super weird length, super weird caliber for that length, and it goes out of stock, you might not find it for months. That now is your build on hold. So I guess my suggestion there would be secure that part first if it's so important to the build. Like if you need a 7-inch handguard for that, or let's say you're going to tuck it with a can, now you need a 12-inch XL handguard.
Oh, sure.
Those are easier to find. There's options out there. But if there's only one manufacturer making that part that you need, like a barrel, or say you need a very specific upper, you want a very specific lower, then get that first. Because all the rest of the parts you can find.
Have you ever had a story of like a specific part that you were waiting for? Either you guys like coming back in stock and you're like, oh, there it is, and then it goes back out of stock really fast. You have to buy it
because
again.
I use the tab method where everything's at the top of my browser all at once, and if it's out of stock, I go look somewhere else. And then if I can't find it there, I'll go look somewhere else. I just keep going until I find someone that has it in stock. But I usually, if I'm building something and I can't get everything that I want in one place, I will usually wait. Like I will just put the whole thing on hold if I can't get it all in one place. Because I hate having 15 different orders out with 15 different companies, and then if I have an issue with something that came from company X, then I've got to deal with their customer service, and simultaneously something comes up with company A where they forgot to ship something, and I'm dealing with theirs. So that's why I like to buy everything in one place, because then when it all shows up, I can call just company A and say, hey, you forgot this and this was broken.
And then they're like, I don't see that on your order. And you're like, yeah, that's one part I bought from someone else. I'm sorry. That happens.
Or I forgot that tab.
Usually almost every build I do, there's one part. It's like, oh, I forgot this. And it's usually that I forgot to like add it into my order. It's like I documented it, I just forgot it. But it happens.
Sure.
What about you, CJ? You've built a couple of guns by now. What's your method?
I have, no, it's hard because my biggest thing right now is budget, staying on budget, and I'm not all that concerned with like getting the super coolest, like dopest thing. I'm really trying to build for my, I guess, use case. So I have one AR right now, and that's my 300 Blackout, and it's a home defense gun. I said, what's the most practical use for an AR? Probably home defense / backpack gun. It's kind of practical. So then I built that out. But now I'm like, okay, I kind of want to build another AR, but I want to build the upper first, and then I can kind of put that on the lower that I already have, and then have kind of multiple uppers, and then eventually build out the lower. So then I kind of do the same thing that you guys do, of like the spreadsheet method, right? So it's like looking at the shop and kind of going through doing the spreadsheet. Okay, this costs this much. This is compatible with this. I know this will fit. Oh, I'm going to have to swap out the buffer and all this stuff here if I'm going to go with this length of barrel. It helps that I do have to build guns, or we have to build guns all the time in here. So then, it's like, oh, I'll go out to the warehouse and look at some new, products, or, oh, I didn't know that was there. Then I'm really wanting to like buy stuff, because I'm like, oh, I didn't know this part existed. Like, that's super cool. Or I'm installing this part Like, I don't think I've ever installed a Phase 5 before. I've worked with them, but just today I was installing Phase 5 for this build, and I was like, oh, this is actually really nice. I kind of want one of these now. So then things get out of hand, because then I'm adding that to the spreadsheet.
If you can install a bolt catch, you can install phase 5.
Yeah, absolutely. But then it's like, then my spreadsheet gets really long of all the stuff that I want. And
Well,
I'm like, well,
then
I'm not going to buy all this all
Well,
at
now
once.
your LPK turned into individualized parts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
I'm
that's,
telling you, the best method is the tabs, because you order it. I'm telling you, what you do is you order it.
if you use Chrome, your computer will crash.
no one uses Chrome. You should be using Brave or Firefox.
Oh, yeah.
But what you do is you start on
I'm sorry,
tab
I
1.
work for a living.
On tab 1, you've got your muzzle device. On the last tab, you've got your stock. Everything in between. I'm telling you, the tab method is the best method, because you go soup to nuts through the whole firearm until you've got.
How
from
do
the
you
front
remember
to the
which
back.
parts that you have tabs open for?
Well, that's on the spreadsheet.
Okay.
But to make sure you're not skipping anything, you do it in tabs.
Well,
And then
that's
you
where
can
I just put everything
visualize-
into the spreadsheet.
Well, that's one way. To do it.
Or you can always make a wish list with
That's true.
everything, and you can name the wish list for your build.
That's
See
true.
there.
Then when you go through, you click add to wish list.
Yeah, see, I probably have 3 spreadsheets of complete ARs with all the parts that I want that are all just like wish list items that are just like, oh man, I'm going to build this ultimate gun and it's the whole thing. Now, am I ever going to buy all that at one time? Probably not. I'm going to buy it at like 1 part at a time or 1 or 2 parts at a time.
I mean, use a MasterCard like everyone else.
No, I would not recommend that. Going into, I don't know, will you guys ever go into like debt for your guns, like just for your gun builds or whatever?
I haven't. I always
Yeah.
wait. I always wait until I have. I bought in stages, like you're talking about. Like the very first firearm that I bought with my own personal money, that wasn't just like, hey, this is yours and you will give it back later. I bought like one of the OG Daniel Defense. It was like, it wasn't even like the DD M4. It was just like the M4A1. They didn't even put the DD into it yet. And I bought that. And then like 3 months later, I bought an optic for it. And then like 3 months later, I bought everything else for it at this place called Extreme Outfitters. So it's like, yeah, it was in stages, but there was like a 3-month period where I just had like this super nice rifle that I spent an entire year saving up for, and I just couldn't shoot it because I didn't even have iron sights for it.
Yeah, see, I think that's my biggest thing is, you know, no matter what you're building, I guess for the audience broadly, but just don't, you know, buy with a purpose, kind of like what we were saying, you know. For me, it would not make sense to spend however much you spent on your Daniel Defense to go hog hunting, because I'm not going hog hunting in the backwoods of Michigan or Texas or wherever I'm going. Like, I'm just not doing that.
You
know,
sure you aren't going to hog hunting in Minneapolis?
No, probably not.
You want to? We
Probably
can.
not. It's just,
You know, there's
We
actually
might have to redefine the word hog.
yeah. Depends what you mean by hog.
when I was in Alberta last year doing, I was doing an ELR course, and I was talking to Rob Furlong. He was the guy that was teaching the course, and we were in the helicopter coming down from the mountain, and he's talking about how he's like one of three companies in the entirety of Canada that's allowed to. They're allowed to hunt from helicopters for a game like that. He said they've got like a really big problem with wild hogs starting in southern Canada.
The only place people live in Canada.
Right. So, but they have a wild hog problem that's starting up. But I guess there's some weirdness going on where they're not just letting people take care of it, and it's getting out of control already. It's like I told him, like, you gotta talk to him, because you've gotta get rid of 70% of these things every year. The population doubles and they spread.
Yeah.
Because if Canada doesn't get it under control, we're gonna have a problem in our northern states too, because they're gonna be super pigs.
I just wonder what border control will do to the pigs when they try to
shoot 'em.
cross.
Well, they're gonna have to
Detain
shoot
them.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I mean,
Pigs in cages, not
that's a
kids
whole
in
other
cages.
podcast right there.
Pigs in cages, not kids in cages.
oh boy.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Is this Tim Pool? Are we on Tim Pool?
right?
Right now?
And the biggest thing too is, like what you said, is have kind of a purpose, because if you don't have a good purpose for what you're building, what you're going to end up with just isn't good. It's not going to make you happy. It's going to be okay at doing like 5 other things which if that's what you want, you just want a good all around range gun.
Yeah.
You can get one. You can build one for pretty cheap.
Well, like one problem I have is I really want to build like a long range, probably 18-inch 6 arc, like, you know, upper at least, or, you know, a whole gun. But I'm like, where am I shooting more than like 100 yards? Like, and if I do have that, how often am I shooting that? And like the answer to me right now is 0. Now maybe that will change over time, but it's like, okay, I'm probably gonna wait until I actually have access to like a long range.
For something like that, you really got to go out and network and find the people. But
Exactly.
Like the
Well, so let me ask you this question:
Mhm.
Are you not shooting out past 100 because you don't have the opportunity to, or is it that you don't have the equipment to? Because it is possible here.
Yeah.
Like 600 yards, within 30 minutes of here, you can find that.
Yeah.
But you got to go to the competitions. You got you have to go to them.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so it would be the first one. It's that it's not that I don't have the opportunity, it's that I haven't explored how would you say? I haven't explored the opportunities to actually get invested into that
Because you
type of
don't
shooting.
have the equipment yet.
Right, exactly.
So I guess what I would say is, if you build it, the distance will come.
if you build it, you will go because you'll be like, oh, I need to go test this.
So
out.
that's kind of my point there.
I
Is
see.
It's kind of
So
like,
it's less of a wait for the opportunity to get access to a longer range,
yeah,
and then just
you're in a death spiral with that because it's, well, I don't have the equipment, I don't have the opportunity, I don't have the equipment. If you get the equipment, go find the opportunity.
There's also, I mean, just go to a PRS match and just hang out, watch, and make sure it's something you want to do first because it's a very specific kind of shooting that they're doing, and you might not like it. So I mean, I bet you'll find out when you go to a PRS match that that community is exactly like the USPSA community. They're happy for new shooters to show up. They want to share the knowledge. They want more people in their space. So I mean, if you just show up and you don't have to, say, "Oh, let me shoot your gun." Just hang out, watch what they're doing, ask questions, and let them know that you're interested. And I bet they're going to also be like, "Yeah, this is my favorite kind of barrel. You're going to need,
maybe that
this
will be
$1,500 Kestrel."
They're all going to help you until you start beating them, and then they won't help you. But and that's been common throughout every shooting discipline I've been in. Is if you're new, everyone's willing to help you. They want to see you succeed. They want to see you come back. Once you start beating them, game on.
Oh, yeah.
That's
then
when
it's a competition.
Then yes, it becomes a competition.
That's when the competition part of the word shows up.
Exactly. So
now you're competing.
I mean, my biggest thing is that if you want to try it, build the gun, go do it. Don't let the equipment hold you back. The other thing too is, like Josh said, go to a match, go talk to someone. These guys that are deep into it, like if you want to go shoot pistol competition, go to a PCSL, USPSA, IDPA match. More than likely, if you show up there with no equipment, someone's going to be like, well, if you're comfortable, you can put my belt on. Like I have handed over my rig before to people for them to go shoot it. PRS, ELR, they're probably going to be pretty similar. That if you need something, you just ask, and someone will supply it for you. Now, you don't rely on them to always supply it.
Sure.
Once, twice, third time, you bring your own.
Yeah. Well, maybe that'll be next season's series. Is trying long range shooting.
The other thing about that is those guys are going to save you a ton of money. Because they're going to tell you what to and not to. Because you show up to a PRS match, you got an MOA optic and a bunch of weird stuff on your gun.
Show up with a red dot.
Yeah. It's a buy once, cry once world with PRS, just like with everything. I mean, you can show up to USPSA with a Glock 17 and still, whip it on.
Oh yeah.
Show up to a PRS match with a 16-inch AR-15, you're probably not going to get too far.
In competition, there's always like this kind of curve of like you're new, you're really focused on just like basic fundamentals, and then you get to this point of like, I think I got the fundamentals mastered, and you go for speed and you just tank. And so new shooters in the pistol world, I always say, if you focus on getting your hits, you will not come in last. Once you try like showing off, thinking that you can go faster than you really do, that's when you're going to shit the bed. And so,
Can you say that?
Yeah, we can say that. Jamie, bleep that out. But at the end, like, that has yet to prove me wrong as a statement. It's like, if you show up and literally you walk from target to target and you just focus on getting good hits and the way,
and remember all your targets.
Yeah.
Which is something I always have
that
with.
But really, I don't think that's going to hurt you as much as it does if you forget 1 or 2 throughout. Now, if you completely just forget like 5 of them, that's a whole different story. But if you focus on just do the fundamentals, you won't, more than likely, you won't forget targets because you aren't trying to do something that you don't know how to do. But if you treat each target like you're standing at a range, a static range, pop, okay, where's my next one? I go there. Take your time, think about it. It's the guys that they finally got that stage where it was like, I dropped 1 Charlie, all the rest were alphas. Next stage, I'm going to go faster. And then next thing you know, it's like, 2 mic, 1 no shoot. 2 mic, 2 no shoot. It's like, okay, 0 the stage.
That reminds me of the guy at the match we went to at Scapsa who had that one where everyone's like, wow, that was a cadence right there. And it was like,
they were almost all mics and Charlies.
And
he ripped it though.
Yeah. I need to do it for the grams sometimes, but
he ripped it.
That's what happens. Every match is going to have someone that's at that performance point in their career or in their hobby, I should say. Very little people make it a career. But it's just like you're outperforming your skill level. That you just shit the bed. And it is what it is.
You just got to go fast.
And dude, I get it.
It's the only way to break the barrier.
It's like indoor over the winter. That is the time to go fast because everything's pretty short distances. You aren't doing complex memory stages or anything like that. That's the time to have fast or have fast, go fun, something like that. Go fun, have fast.
One of the two.
Yeah, something like that.
I was almost thinking how I'm looking forward to the winter time when those indoor matches start up again because I feel like those are the training wheels.
They very much are.
If you were. So it's like, I'm excited to actually go back to those and have a little bit more of a chill time and then probably next season hit the outdoor ranges again. Because I'll definitely hit up a couple more outdoor ranges this year, but I'm just always going to feel like less than at some point.
Part of it too is just kind of indoor. You get more chance for building the community.
Yeah.
The people that you run into more people. So I mean, up here in Minnesota, most indoor ranges, you're going to have 2 squads. You're going to maybe shoot 2 stages. At most 4 stages. They might swap the stages halfway through the night. But compared to like outdoor where you get 5 squads, maybe 12 people on a squad, 15 people at most usually. You don't talk to as many people. And then when you're on a squad at a club, usually you'll kind of stay on that squad throughout the year. It seems like people kind of gravitate towards the people they know, go figure.
Sure.
But as you meet new people, I mean, one of the things that I always try to do nowadays is I don't care what squad I'm on. I want to be on a squad with some people I don't know, just to get to know them.
Build that community a little bit more.
Yep. But yeah, kind of backtracking to like how you said you don't want to go in debt over a gun.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
We went on a whole
Yeah.
I guess to me, kind of the one time where I see, and I agree with that statement, like at the end of the day, this is a hobby for a vast majority of us. I mean, raise your hand if you actually make money shooting guns.
Well, I think that's my biggest thing too, is because
I mean, right now we both get to raise our hand.
Well, yeah, kind of. Well, I mean,
no, you guys cost me money when you shoot guns.
No, because of our ammo sponsor.
Bulk Munitions.
Bulk Munitions. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks for that plug.
Yeah.
But seriously, check them out. They're great people, so if you guys need ammo, go check them out. But kind of going back to that is, now CJ's showing the $100 gift certificate.
Let's see. Can you see this, YouTube?
There we go.
There we go.
It'll be better next time, I promise.
Yeah. There you go. If you guys want something free, use this discount code. It's pretty sweet.
That way you don't have to use debt.
Yeah, that way you don't have to go in debt over your AR.
Yeah, maybe Jamie can put some text up on the screen for it. But it's literally first one to use it wins. After someone uses it, it's not going to work. So
First one to use it. Okay.
Now that our retention dropped and everyone went to the website.
Hey, welcome back. We're
Yes.
glad you're here from the website. I'm sorry some guy that saw the video before you beat you to the code because he was watching the video in 2x speed.
So that is
Charlie, what were you saying?
So actually, back to that. That is something that we plan on doing every podcast. So
It won't always be at this exact time.
no, like you got to watch it to find them.
I will have a
Sorry,
discount
guys.
code that I will hold up at
And
some
I'm gonna
point.
make them not handwrite it next time, so it's actually gonna be printed so you can read it, and it's not my handwriting. But kind of going back to that, the one time I think that like you should really consider, like, I don't want to say go in debt, but make a smart purchasing decision. Is, let's say what you're looking for is $1,700. You have a budget of $15. Well, that $200, let's say you're looking at a rifle scope. Now, is that you compromising on the optic you want to stay at that $1,500? Or is it worth doing something like Sezzle or one of those buy now, pay later programs, 0 interest over 6 weeks, where you can spend that extra $200, 0 interest over 6 weeks, and you got to be realistic with yourself. You got to pay it off. But can you come up with an extra $200 inside of 6 weeks? I think the answer for most people is yes, you can.
But you have to be responsible.
You have to be responsible with it. Now, usually the penalty for the buy now, pay later programs is you can't utilize their service again until you pay in full. But I know Sezzle, I'm pretty sure they're interest-free over 6 weeks. It's four payments over 6 weeks. Your first one is due the day of purchase. Then you have one every 2 weeks after.
But
So,
really, I mean,
me personally, in that situation, I'd wait until I had the extra $200. But there is an exception.
If it's Black Friday,
I've used it a few times when I was short on cash, and it was like a deal that was just too good to pass up. It was there was a 4th of July sale or a Black Friday sale or something where the product was discounted at like 40% plus. It's like once that sale goes away, this goes from I need to save $200 next week to I got to spend another $1,400. I think I saw an
and that's what we call FOMO.
I think I saw an EOTech at like $800 once, like the EOTech and the magnifier. I almost did it then because that's like a $1,200 optic.
Oh yeah.
So
with the combo.
It's with the magnifier. So, but yeah, that would probably be the only exception. Is if it for me, anyways, is if there was a steep sale and I was the opportunity cost, if you will.
I mean, the richest people in the world, they still leverage their money. I mean, if you can get, if you're giving me an interest-free loan, man, I'll take it all day, every day. Because guess what? Dollar goes up. Like if you gave me $1,000 today and I don't need to pay it back to you for 3 years, $1,000 ain't worth as much in 3 years. So, I mean, essentially at that point, you're kind of shorting the dollar a little bit. But I mean, that's a great point where you might want to do like a buy now, pay later, put it on a credit. Now, if you have a high interest credit card, you probably wouldn't want to do that. But
and definitely if you're not a person that is good with finances and credit, like just
like
dude,
most
you
pe-
just
like
tell the
most
repo
people.
man,
Yeah,
come and
just-
take it.
just Heisman away from credit if it's not something you're disciplined enough to use, because it is a double-edged sword. It can get you real hard.
You just tell the repo man to come and take it. That's what you tell the ATF man too.
Tell the government to come and take it.
We love the ATF around here. They're great.
Yeah, they're my favorite.
We abide by all local laws and federal
Yep.
laws, rules, and regulations,
Try our best to.
and safety.
But yeah, I mean, that's always a great time to like think about, should I spend an extra $200 if it's going to get me what I want? Because if you don't get what you want today, and now you're like, oh shucks, I wish I would have spent that extra $200. Guess what? Now you got to spend more money to get it, and now you got to sell the old one.
Sure. Yeah.
Or now you got an extra optic, so you got to build another gun.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean that's the thing too. It's like
Everything falls down to build another gun.
Whenever I upgrade optics, that's what ends up happening. So like I got the pig gun. I'm gonna take the ACOG off of it, and I'm gonna put an EOTech on it, and then I'm gonna an ACOG. So it's like, well, now I have an ACOG, so now I need a 16-inch barrel.
No, and you can't put an ACOG on a $350 AR-15.
No, so I mean, yeah, I might do it anyways because that radical, and I've seen like, or you do the classic PSA build where it's like, oh yeah, it's a PSA. And it's like a PSA lower with everything else being like Colt parts and KAC.
And one of my spray paint ones, I think it was like right around 300. Like everything.
I mean, that's literally what
Actually, no optic. I didn't include an optic on that, but
yeah, my gun's technically an Anderson. It's an Anderson lower, but then everything else is like AT3 or something else. Yeah.
We do have one slight disconnect from our audience, and that's that everyone at this table is able to score really good deals on gun parts whenever we want.
That is true.
So
that's why
the perks of working in the industry.
I mean, in all honesty, that is a value. Like it's kind of funny because if I worked at Bed Bath & Beyond, I would never, well, I don't know, maybe I would buy some candles for my wife for Christmas presents, but utilize the employee discount. Here, like that's a part of your paycheck, darn near. Like, yeah, you don't see it, but if you are buying parts as like this is my hobby and you get to save money on it, technically that's money staying in your wallet. That difference between retail and the employee discount,
right.
And we have a pretty good one here too. So.
My fiance, she's obsessed with makeup. She works at an Ulta beauty store, and they get like free makeup all the time. So that was my fear. She's obsessed with makeup. I'm like, oh, she's working at Ulta. She's not even gonna make money. She's just gonna get like a $2,000 discount, and then spend like everything else while she's working there. But
and when I was CJ's age working at the fish tank place, like literally every paycheck I went to.
But
hobby.
I got lucky because apparently they're expected to use a ton of makeup while they work there because it helps them sell the makeup to people. So she gets free makeup.
Well, there you go.
So they get like sampler packs from.
Has
all
anyone
the
like
brands.
dressed up? No offense to your fiance, but like, has anyone like if I was a clown, I would love to work there. Free makeup? I go through $30 of that stuff a day, man.
I wonder if it's the same kind of makeup.
Oh, yeah, I don't think it's quite the same. That's
right.
more like face paint.
Yeah.
So.
Wait, they don't have a red nose aisle?
No, they do have very red lipstick stuff.
Honk, honk.
So, hey, I don't mind. She's having fun with it.
Right?
So
she gets free makeup. We get free bullets from bulk munitions. You know.
Yeah, this is true. But we actually have to start wrapping this up.
Already?
Guys.
That was quick.
So I'm super upset that our teleprompter died about halfway through this, so we lost track of the actual chase of the podcast. But I think we did a pretty good job for what is probably going to be episode 1. Hopefully all of our audio worked this time. So any saved rounds, Charlie?
Yes, I have one.
Oh, no. What
is the minimum price you would pay and rely on an AR-15?
For me personally, does this include the optic?
No optic. That just what you would buy off the gun store wall or build. Optics so variable.
So it's if you're in like the music world at all, you kind of reach a point where it's like the maximum. The maximum you're going to be able to get out of a bass guitar or a guitar. Diminishing returns eventually. You usually hit that around $800 to $1,200. Everything after that is like a nice to have or a small.
You just made some people angry.
Yeah, I'm sure. But
I spent $15,000 on my guitar.
I think in the in the AR-15 world, that $800 to $1,200 is the real sweet spot where you get. You're going to get that 10 to 15,000 round barrel that's going to just last for a long time. You're going to get a really solid warranty from the manufacturer or manufacturers if you're building. And so that's where I'm at, is that $800 to $1,200 range is probably the sweet spot. I have spent more on rifles. Obviously, I like the Danny D boys, but I've also spent less.
You like the double Ds?
Yeah, I love double Ds. But I've spent a good chunk of money on a rifle. I've also bought really budget-conscious rifles that have performed really well. But I'm thinking that the $800 to $1,200 range is probably like the sweet spot. You're getting a lot of rifle. You're not spending a ton of money.
Get a lot of value there.
Yep.
See, I'm gonna say, Charlie, after what we did with that Radical for like $350 or whatever it is, I'm gonna say that you can still get a really good gun for like $350, $400. I think that's probably because you asked for the minimum. So like the minimum you would spend, and is this like a self-defense? Like I need to trust my life to this gun, or is this like I'm just gonna throw it in my range bag and take it to the range?
You're gonna rely on it running.
Okay, yeah. Oh, $350. I think you can get a lot of rifle now for 350
Oh, yeah.
bucks now. The way machining is down, it seems like quality control is fine now. I mean, I don't hear too many people complaining too much about their barrels, or whatever, shooting out or something like that, like any weird stuff going on. I think, especially after that test, what we did, I'm like, man, that thing can hold up really good. So, and you're gonna have some problems. Like I think that one had the loose hand guard
that
or whatever.
loose hand guard was that was the major issue with that.
But that was after it was ran over.
No, it was loose from the get-go.
Okay, so it was loose out of the
So you're gonna have
box.
some problems, but I think
It wasn't as bad out of the box, but I think we've been running that gun for 4 months now. Over the 4 months that we've been running it, it got looser and looser and looser. And by the end of the torture test, it was like wobble, wobble, wobble.
Oh, it's funny when I framed houses, like we have the really nice tools, and then we have the oh no, we need this last minute. You go to Harbor Freight, buy like a flooring gun.
The U.S. General brand.
Yeah, and you buy a flooring gun. It looks just like the Boss Stitch that you got. And like literally we pull them apart. The only difference we found was whether or not they used Loctite on the screws. And it was like a $300 gap. One was $150, the other was $450.
Yeah. So then what's your minimum amount you would spend?
I'm kind of with Josh.
Okay.
On a gun that I'm going to rely on running. Probably floor 650, 700-ish.
Okay.
Because one of the things too that I'm looking at is, does it have parts that I'm not going to swap out?
Oh, sure.
Because if I spend $350 on a gun and it's got a 10-pound single stage trigger in it that feels like sandpaper, yeah, I'm going to switch that out. If it's got a buttstock that I don't like, an A2 buttstock, if it's got an A2 grip, like if it's got stuff that I don't like and I'm sheerly buying it nothing wrong with going that route and upgrading over time.
Yeah.
But if I had the money today, I would go for what I want.
Sure,
And to me, that's probably closer to that like $800 range.
Sure. And maybe my number is more impacted by like my budget. Like I said,
100%.
'cause, like, I'm totally more willing to get into a gun and then upgrade it later as I go. And I think maybe that's a lot of people, but yeah, I definitely think that. Kind of like our AT3 guns, the
Totally
alternator,
viable.
the flatline. They have some nice Magpul furniture, the Magpul DT stock, some stuff that you wouldn't even have to upgrade. Is kind of what you're talking about.
Yeah, go find the one that has like our flatline that's got a Magpul DT stock on it, I think. Warhammer charging handle. It's got ambi mag release on it. And like it's right around that $1,000 area, but essentially we built those to be a gun that you don't need to upgrade. That it's got everything you want. Now it's in that very popular $1,000 range, which is hard, but yeah.
That's a really hard space to get noticed.
Because that is the biggest value area of it.
It's what I always tell people all the time. It's just like music, like with guitars and basses. Once you get past $1,200 on a guitar, you're going into that. I really like the brand. You're going into the Fender space. Like I like Fender. I like Gibson. I like PRS. That's why I have a $2,800 PRS guitar with little birds on the stock or on the fretboard, just because I like it.
You can get a BCG from $60 all the way up to $600.
Yeah.
Like, what's the difference?
Does the rubber on my Daniel Defense buttstock make the firearm function better?
Yes.
It doesn't pull my beard hair out, so I pay extra for it.
So therefore, it functions better.
But does it make the firearm function better? Does it make it more reliable? I don't think so. I wouldn't imagine it does.
Right.
So I'm questioning it because there might be some world where it is a thing, because there's always an edge case with guns. It doesn't matter what you're doing. There's always an edge case.
And then they use the limb saver buttstock pads.
Well, I think that's why we've done cheap versus expensive videos on the channel, and almost all those are super popular because people want to know the differences between all these things. Like,
is it worth it?
Yeah, is it worth it? Like, we literally did one on BCGs, and that's been a super popular one, and going all the way through a $60 one up to the $600 ones, like you were saying. There actually are some differences, but do they really matter? Are they really worth it to like the average person? Sometimes not. Sometimes they're meant for a really specific use case, it would seem.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with that, thanks for watching.
Are you sure?
Are we not done?
No.
I thought you were trying to close this out.
I think we need to get someone from like one of the budget manufacturers, and then get someone from like one of the more high-end manufacturers, and do a debate. And not a debate, but like really just sit down and see what the difference is in like the day-to-day life of a Geisele employee versus the day-to-day life of a PSA employee.
Or like a BCM. I think there's a few different ones there. But I honestly think the day in the life is not much different. I think it's more the positions available.
Yeah.
Like BCM, they're known for their QC.
So let's take a QC guy from BCM, right, and then get a QC guy from PSA.
What QC guy?
The QC guy.
The one guy.
What guy? And no, but in all
We
seriousness,
didn't mean it, Cameron. Don't send anyone
yeah,
after.
not that there's no QC there, but like literally, if you what I've heard is BCM, they QC almost 100% of parts that come in to them. Where
Quality control for the
yes.
uninitiated.
JP's kind of the same way. That when you buy a barrel from JP, usually it's coming with a bolt.
Yeah.
If you buy a BCG from JP, there is no bolt.
Yeah.
So the way they, like, usually you buy a BCG, it's the carrier and the bolt. If you buy a JP BCG, there is no bolt.
Yeah.
That's matched to the barrel because that's what matters. And so it's a little things like that it takes time, it's labor. And I guess my next question is, do you want someone getting paid minimum wage to be blueprinting your gun? Or do you want someone getting paid a fair wage that's happy at work blueprinting your gun?
And I think on that note, we are going to end the podcast, and we might explore that next week. We'll see you then.